All right, guys, we have Silver Linings Playbook. Came out in 2012, rated R. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes. This was actually picked by my wife, which was very interesting because she absolutely cannot stand Bradley Cooper. But with that being said, here comes the cast. Bradley Cooper plays Pat. Jennifer Lawrence plays Tiffany. Robert De Niro plays Pat Sr. Chris Tucker, which I think is very interesting for him to be in this film, plays Danny. We have John Ortiz, who plays Ronnie. We have Shea Wiggum, who plays Pat's brother Jake. And we have Julia Stiles, that plays Veronica. Again, random person being in this film. Now, the film is centered around the Philadelphia Eagles and Pat being bipolar. Now, we start off with Pat being kind of like in a psych ward because we find out that he came home from work one day and caught his wife cheating on him. And he got so angry that he basically almost beat him to death. And I thought that was very interesting. Especially when after, so his mom comes and gets him out of this insane asylum, brings him home, and he has all these, anger fits. And it's like, you're sitting here and you're wondering, what's the whole premise of this film? Why is this film always talked about? And it's a simple state of the fact of the matter is that, that the whole film gets centered around actual issues that a lot of people experience nowadays. Pat, like I said, he's bipolar. So he's losing his mind. He's still in love with Nikki. And, he's in love with the Eagles. His father's in love with the Eagles. And, Pat's friend Ronnie ends up introducing him to Tiffany, who's Veronica's sister. And Tiffany's kind of, loco coco. She's losing her mind, so it's like both of their crazies coincide. Now, Pat thinks, how can I get Nikki back? Well, he finds out that that Tiffany can, get a letter to Nikki, and because Pat has a restraining order, he can't be anywhere, I think, within 300 feet, something like that, of Nikki, because she fears for her life. And now it keeps on going back and forth between Pat and Tiffany because their crazies meet very well. While at the same point, you have Pat trying to show his love for the Eagles with his father, and his father is absolutely wackadoo. He lost his pension fund, so he's a huge gambler, and he's trying to start up a restaurant, and it's just, there's so many left and rights to this film. But one of the reasons why I like it is because it's that way. You can't predict as to what's going to happen next. It is a slow start, but, it shows how dedicated Eagles fans are, and it kind of brings home because, everyone in New England, they absolutely, their mind for sports is untested. It's very rare that you'll go to Boston and find a sports fan not be able to tell you history on all 4 teams. Even if it's, common knowledge to you, it's like something they talk about with their families on every Sunday. So, that's one of the things I liked about this film. I also liked how, Bradley Cooper just, he went all out. And so did Jennifer Lawrence. So it's like when you get two people who kind of go all out and then they have that chemistry, it's kind of, it's one of those films that you want to watch because you want to see how it ends. if you guys ever just sat there and try to watch a film and you figure out how it ends, you're not going to want to finish it because, it's boring at that point. Now, IMDb did give it a 7.7 out of 10, and I give it a 4 out of 5 because it's definitely one of those great films, and I understand why everybody loved it, and I'm very glad that I ended up watching it. But at the same token, I don't think I would watch this all the time. So that's where I stand on it. If you are interested in watching it, it is on HBO Max. I highly suggest you check it out, just because, like I said, it's turning into one of those cult classics, and you don't want to be the last one on the totem pole. So give it a watch. Let me know what you think.